Hey, YouTube, back with another video. So this one is part 2 of the Brahmacharya no fap and semen retention video. This video I'll be going into the details and like the benefits of Brahmacharya, and then the hindrances to the practice and ways to improve your practice of Brahmacharya. So let's jump right into it. We'll go with the detriments first of Brahmacharya, of not practicing Brahmacharya, excuse me. The first one, as I mentioned in the last video, is your essence is depleted. And now, picture that you're made up of like one single thing, and that thing, it turns manyfold. It starts to expand like one cell divides into two into four, etc., etc. And so we can say that's the essence of your being, just transformed into many different things. So with our essence, our vital energy is very similar, because the process to get to it is, it turns from food to blood to bone marrow, and then finally it gets to the semen for males. And then the females would be the ovum. And so when you are wasting that vital energy, you're literally killing yourself, to put it bluntly. You are taking out your essence, what gives you life, what makes this body move, what gives it its beauty, its radiance, its strength. You're taking everything that you are and you're wasting it. And so you can imagine the consequences if you do this day by day by day. You're left with nothing. You're weak. You have no willpower. You don't have any magnetism. You don't have the ability to focus very well. You don't have ambition. You just function like a machine or a puppet. And so we want to rise above this. Who wants to live as puppets and sheep in this world? Nobody. So the first step is to gain knowledge of this practice of Brahmacharya. It's like, before you go off on a road trip or a journey, you want to have a map to know where you're going. And so the teaching of Brahmacharya, what I'm sharing with you guys, is like helping you develop a map so that you guys can go off on your own journeys with Brahmacharya. So one of the first couple, there's just an overview of the practice of Brahmacharya would be strict celibacy and action, word, and deed. And so there is like the physical Brahmacharya, which is just retaining the physical essence while you still maybe thinking lustful thoughts, or you speak very promiscuously. And just the physical retaining the Brahmacharya, as you see in like the no-fap communities, they gain intense benefits: more testosterone, more magnetism for the opposite sex. They look more attractive to the females, opposite gender, and they have more energy, so they work out more. They get more gains from working out. They have more physical energy for getting things done, like being more efficient in their day-to-day lives, less procrastination. And so when we rise above just this physical level, we tap into that spiritual level of it. Now, a great sages like Mahatma Gandhi, for example, he was a strict observer of Brahmacharya, and that was a big reason of his success in his freeing India. He had such power in his voice. And where did that power come from? From the vital energy that he was storing within inside himself. When you start to store that, it's like a battery. You have so much charge that you overcharge. You start to radiate energy. You start to give off vibrations. And when you start to practice this higher form of Brahmacharya, moving past just the physical retaining, but even in thought and word, then you move beyond just the magnetism of attraction. You move to the point where doesn't matter how intelligent or how quote unquote dumb what you say is, because you have such energy and power behind your voice, people believe you, people are willing to follow you. You have, that's divine magnetism, and that's what we want to cultivate, divine magnetism, not just physical attraction. Divine magnetism will help change the world. When we change ourselves, when we develop ourselves, when we grow more spiritually, when we practice these teachings of Brahmacharya, of meditation, we are like stars. And stars have such a gravitational pull to the objects around them. And so in a similar sense, we people have more gravitational pull. We have more divine magnetism. We attract people to us, and we're able to help them grow. They're willing to follow us. They're willing to listen, willing to practice what we practice. Why? Because we were happy. We were peaceful. We were always in joy. We don't get angry. These are the things we want in life. We should not be living life so upset and stressed out. And that's another benefit of Brahmacharya, is a decreased level of stress. Because when we have more energy, it's like a stress takes away energy, it like feeds off energy. If you have so much energy that the stress cannot keep up with, then stress will be a non-factor for you. Like for myself, nowadays, I rarely, if ever, feel stressed. And I contribute that to my general practice, my sadhana of meditation, Brahmacharya, diet and fasting, sunbathing, sun gazing, etc. I'll go into all of these things in later videos, but just as an overview, when you get this holistic practice down, life just becomes blissful. Because you're living from a higher state. You're living from joy. You're living from wisdom, living from love. You're living in the highest vibration. And so let's go back into the benefits of Brahmacharya. Other benefits, it would be better skin. It would be like a glow to your face, like a radiance. This is like that divine magnetism, where you're just beaming with light. You're radiating light outwards. Your smile is just, it's like almost intoxicating in a very pure way, you know? And then into like the more spiritual side of the benefits would be, it gives you more prana or more chi to move up the spine. It allows for better control. Like your nervous system is not always in a state of shock. When you constantly waste your vital essence, when you constantly have sex or masturbate, your nervous system goes into shock whenever it releases. And so if you think like you're always functioning from like a damaged or a state of dis-ease your nervous system is in. And so when we stop that constant ejaculation, that constant sex, then we then are able to fix the nervous system. And so once this nervous system is in order, prana flows better, more efficiently, more freely. And so our meditations, we can feel that energy more. One, because we're bringing more into our bodies. We're transmuting more energy. We're storing more energy, so we become more aware of it. And yeah, let's dive into the practice, because I think I've said enough about the benefits. I mean, the benefits are endless. Like they say in the Vedic scriptures, by one quote by Adi Shankaracharya, is the man who has gained complete control over the sex force is no man but a god. Let that sink in. When we transcend, we have complete self-mastery of our sex force. One of the deepest ingrained desires within man, one of the hardest desires to overcome. When we have gained complete control over that, we ascend to godhood. Which leads into another scripture, and that is when one, and I'm going to paraphrase this one, it essentially says that after 12 years of strict Brahmacharya and action, word, and deed, or action, word, and thought, that one, just upon hearing of God or the scriptures, just upon hearing of truth, capital T, truth, they instantly attain enlightenment and realization. That just shows what a different state of mind you're put in when you practice the strict celibacy. Your vibration is just so high that when truth comes to you, instant realization, instant truth. And so let's get into the transmutation and the practice of Brahmacharya, because I know a lot of people struggle with being able to overcome like urges and desires of any sort, really, but just specifically urges, sexual urges, masturbation, etc. So there's a few ways. One would be to, as you start your practice, whatever day, write down why you are doing this, and really like sit down with it and like really get into why you're doing this. Don't let it be a shallow reason, but really introspect, look within, meditate on it. And once you've come to that conclusion, write it down. And so that whenever you feel an urge, go back to why you're doing this. And that puts you in a situation where it's like, do you want to knowingly go against the reason why you're doing this, or do you want to keep going forward with why you're doing this? It puts you in a situation where it's like, you know that if you go this route, you're clearly breaking like your own promise to yourself. And we should never break promises to anyone, especially ourselves. The second way, or second technique or practice, would be transmutation of the energy, conscious transmutation, meaning that when we feel an urge, we sit down and visualize it at the base of the spine, and with an inhale, slowly and deeply, we feel the energy, that sexual energy, that urge, going up, up, up the spine into the third eye. And then with an exhale, we visualize strongly that energy coming out, that energy leaving our bodies, leaving our minds. And I found that really effective, and it works with other desires as well. Whatever is coming from the lower chakras, just send it up the spine and out through the third eye. Another way, using meditation, is when you feel an urge, just sit down with it and feel it in every cell of your body, just that energy, that sexual energy, and just calmly be a witness, calmly observe this energy. And after some time, you'll feel it just reside, just relax. It'll just dissipate. And what's happening is that it's not just dissipating out, it's not just leaving, you're not losing this energy. It dissipates into all of your cells of your body. You become recharged. It's like instant transmutation. And so, let's see. Another way, number 4, is exercise. And that is, as everyone knows who practices this, like whenever you feel an urge, drop down, do some push-ups, whatever form of exercise, some pull-ups, some handstand push-ups, some yoga. There's something to get the body moving, so that energy that's being condensed, is being built up at the lower chakras, it's getting spread out to the other parts of the body. Another method is cold showers. And now the yogis, like Swami Shivanandaji, he mentions this a lot in his book, Practice of Brahmacharya. I'll put that down in the description. And he says about the cold showers that when we take cold showers, I think as everyone knows, when you take a cold shower, you're so focused on that sensation of freezing water that you have no care for sex at that point anymore. For the men, the testicles instantly shrink up and like all urge disappears. And then there's many benefits of cold showers outside of helping your practice of Brahmacharya. And I'll save that for another video as well. Okay, number 5. And there's plenty more, but we'll stop at number 5. And that is creative pursuits like art, music, dancing, like whatever. Because essentially, that vital essence, that sexual energy, is creative energy. It creates life, and life is creative. All of this in the universe is creative energy that was manifested into form. And so, with our own essence, when we transmute that into creative pursuits, it's like a direct link. And so it enhances one's art, it enhances one's dance, because you have so much, you're filled with creative energy. And once you just put that, focus that on something, it's just like a lightning bolt of efficiency, a lightning bolt of power, a lightning bolt of focus, speed, clarity. So that's all for the techniques for now. And I think you guys are good with that. Please let me know in the description or in the comments if you guys have any questions or anything else that you want me to cover, and I can make another video or respond to you in the comment section. Yeah, guys and brothers and sisters, celibacy is needed more in life. You see a lot of addiction to pornography, a lot of addiction to sex, a lot of addiction just to the carnal desires. Like, we are gods. As the scripture says, ye are gods. Realize our inner divinity and cultivate that divinity. Let it manifest in full power. Rise above the carnal desires. Rise above the lower chakras. Balance them, harmonize them, and then rise up. Stay in the higher chakras, the heart center, the spiritual eye, the crown chakra, the throat for expression. And for people who are in a relationship and wanting to practice Brahmacharya, in an ideal relationship, there should be no constant need for sex. Because if you think about it, if your relationship is built off of sex, it's built off of physical thing, and it has, like, all things you do in this world, all relationships should be built off a spiritual level, off in a deeper level. It should be about the emotion, the love you feel for them, that unconditional love, not the love you have with their sex or how good they are. That's irrelevant. That's never gonna last. When they're older, they will not have that same ability. So you can stop loving them because of that. So as you see, it's very shallow. We want relationships built off of true, mutual, unconditional love, where you don't need to have sex every day to know that your partner loves you. And so people that are in a relationship, try to explain to a significant other that Brahmacharya deepens the relationship. It doesn't separate you guys because you guys are not having constant sex. No, it brings you closer. That unity, that oneness, it creates a true relationship built off of love, built off of the highest vibrations. So I wish you all the best in a relationship if you guys are in one. And like I just said over and over, there is a better way. Sex is not the best part of a relationship. It should be for procreation only. When we begin to practice the celibacy, then we can really start changing the world for the better. Just imagine hundreds, thousands of people who have such divine magnetism getting together for change. That is powerful. What can combat that force, that energy? Because God is supporting us. The universe, the infinite, is supporting us. When you practice celibacy, you're practicing the way of God. You're living like God. I'll end it with that. Peace and love, brothers and sisters. Enjoy yourselves in this time. Use this time to develop good habits. Please start the Brahmacharya. Please start celibacy. It will change you for the better. All right, I love you all. Peace be with you.